Tip number 218 from the book 501 Contractor Tips, tool rentals. There are a few things that I think are important about renting tools. Number one, do you have the money to buy the tool? If you do, if you got the money to buy the tool, then you might want to buy it and have it, that we have it as a convenience. You know, it's at your place of business, it's at your home, you can throw it in your truck and go up. You don't need to go down to the rental yard, waste an hour or two, and then go to the job. Now, there are a few things about renting tools I want you to think about. Is it a tool that you rent? If you're going to rent a jackhammer, and it's $1,000 to purchase the jackhammer, but you're going to rent the jackhammer for 15 days, and it's going to cost you $1,000 to rent the jackhammer. If that's the case, why not buy the jackhammer? Buy tools that make sense. You know, if you can buy the tool and it's going to pay for itself, get the tool. And if you don't have the place to store it, sell it. You know, and I'm not suggesting this on everything. There are things, you know, I'm not going to go out and purchase a Bobcat. If I'm going to use a Bobcat, but I don't have a place to store it, like a little forklift kind of a thing, I'm not going to do it if I don't have a place to store it. If you know, it's like owning something, you know, a big elephant, but you can't put it in your backyard. What good is it? You know, you're going to have to pay to store it somewhere else or something like that. Now you're getting into money that might not be being spent wisely. And that's the whole purpose of this video here, is to make sure you do the math on these things. I know a couple of contractors who purchased a large forklift, and I want to say they paid about $80,000 for it. It was on a 5-year plan, and I want to say their payments were about $1,200 a month, and to rent the forklift would have been about $2,200 a month. It was a good decision on their half, as long as the work was coming in steady and they could keep busy. There was a downturn in the economy. Construction hit the tank. Everything was bad. And they had paid on this piece of equipment for 2 years and now could no longer afford to. And I want to say they bought it for 80, let's say, and they probably paid off about 20,000. They probably owed 60. And again, I'm just kind of throwing some numbers out there. They ended up selling it for about 20. So they took a $40,000 beating on this thing, and I don't know what happened to the whole story, if they filed bankruptcy or what the deal was, if the equipment people just took it back. But I remember it was a horrible, just turned out, it was miserable. These are the things you need to think of. And that's why it's kind of like, that's why I'm sharing these videos and the book with you, the stories and the information in here, because if I could just, you know, save a couple of you guys and gals out there from making the same mistake I made or someone else made, then I think I'll have done my job. And so that's kind of the reason why I'm doing this. But the rental stuff, it really is something. You need to grab a pencil and a piece of paper and figure this stuff out. Is it going to work? You know, should I rent or should I purchase? Do I have a place to store it? Or am I going to be storing it somewhere else and paying storage fees or renting a space somewhere? These are all things you need to consider. Don't just have the attitude, I love tools, and then your ego gets in the way, and pretty soon you want to have all these tools, but you owe $10,000 on your credit card because you purchased these tools because you want to have them. You're a contractor. You know, this is something you can't satiate the need, just got to keep getting more. Then you're going to end up in creating a problem that could have been avoided if you simply get the message in this particular video.